Welcome to another episode, Dr. James Beckett Sports Card Insights. Thanks sponsors, Beckett Media, Beckett Grading, Beckett Authentication, ComC.com, Burbank Sports Cards, Mike Stadium Sports Cards, Heritage Auctions, Huggins & Scott Auctions, Topps, Panini, and Upper Deck. You can see from the title, I don't want to make this completely frivolous, but yesterday's episode was such a downer. I just thought I'm going to do a speculative issue that maybe takes some people out of their comfort zone, but just something that's a little bit of an escape. So it's the what if proposition. What if President Trump loved sports cards? So how would you like that? President Trump is the most polarizing president America's ever had, but he's not. He may present as this simply, and too many people have this dichotomy of love him or hate him. Again, most people think that all Democrats hate him and all Republicans love him, and I can assure you neither of those are true. But what would it be like? What if President Trump was a collector, was a dealer, was involved in the sports card industry? He'd be our quote unquote first collector. Well, he obviously understands the power of brand. Can you imagine a Trump cards? Can you imagine a company that now if he owned the company, it would be a shell company. It would be highly leveraged and it would have non-recourse financing. And even though he's a billionaire, somehow he'd figure out a way to not have much money in it, but have something that had a big impact that could potentially corner not the market, but a market, because I think that's the way he thinks. I'm going to try to straddle my comments here of not being throwing our president under the bus or glorifying him in any way. He's in a tough position, and he's got more things to think about today than if he were a collector. But I can tell you this: I'm pretty sure he would not collect players, celebrities, sports stars who don't like him, because that's not what he does. If you don't like him, he's not going to like you. And so I can imagine he would only track in players that he really liked. I could see him contacting PSA. And at the same time, having his representatives contact BGS and start negotiating how he could get a good deal for grading for his company. And I'm sure that what he'd be asking for is how much BGS would pay him per card to get his cards graded, and PSA would have to match it or beat it. And he'd be looking for some exclusive endorsement that included him not having to pay for his grading and maybe having him get paid to choose them. He'd probably do something similar with ComC. He'd say, "Hey, Tim, how would you like to have all of my business in cards that I want to put onto ComC? But what I'd like from you, ComC, is I'd like to pay no listing fees, no storage fees, and we can negotiate how much you will pay me for the ability to, for your ability to say that you are the platform of choice for my certain cards." Again, not sure they would go for that. At the same time, he's again equal time for the card companies. He goes to Topps. Again, this is the what if. He goes to Topps, he goes to Panini, he goes to Upper Deck, and he says, "I would like for you to be my exclusive autographed card company. I'd like to do an autographed cards. I'd like to have some subsets and some special sets that I endorse because I'm president, but I also love sports cards." And he'd be having his people negotiate with Topps, Panini, and Upper Deck, maybe even Leaf, and but all of a sudden they would have their exclusive, and then they would find out that through his attorneys that their exclusive is only for the sport, that he has exclusives with each company at the maximum price. So because he's a master negotiator, according to his book. One thing he would do, we're talking about some visible things he'd do, but many wealthy collectors collect by proxy and buy by proxy. In other words, they have somebody that does that for them, so that they can be kind of in the background. I believe he would do that too. Another clever thing he might do, I'm not sure how well it would turn out, but he would use his influence to have a reality TV show on collecting where he would be maybe not saying you're fired, but he'd have some kind of a way that people were bringing cards in or talking about what they would do to get cards. He'd have some kind of reality TV show on card collecting, and that would be fun, perhaps. He would redefine, make America great again in terms of collecting. I'm not sure what the golden age of collecting was, that he would want to make American sports card collecting great again. It was great back in the day, but it may be even greater now. So I don't know that we want to go back. Let's make the best of it right now. And for some of you are saying, well, I don't know if we'd want President Trump in our industry. Well, think about it. He is a billionaire. I don't think the industry wants to turn away billionaire collectors. Much of the run up in price has come from a few billionaires, or at least people with hundreds of millions of dollars, who have dropped some big bucks on glamour cards and built out some pretty amazing collections. What about immigration, tariffs? President Trump is noted by critics, and certainly even his fans know that he has a certain way of looking at the world from America-centric perspective. I don't think he has any problem with foreign customers. That's not a problem. He has a problem with foreign producers. So again, Panini is very wise to when you see the Panini literature, it's Panini America. So even though Panini, the parent company, is Italian, Panini America is who's doing business over here. And again, that would please President Trump. He likes deregulated markets. That's one of the reasons he would probably like card collecting in our industry. It's very deregulated. A lot of people can do a lot of stuff without government intervention. Obviously, the FBI has gotten involved a couple times. I don't want to rehash that, but there are certain things where laws are broken, and I'm not going to get specific, but his critics say that he hates certain groups of people. One group that he supposedly hates is half the population, and then there are some other minorities. But frankly, that's not the reason he might like our industry. Is that that's not the predominant demographic in our industry, and so he might regard being in our industry and having a situation with his. He might think he's in the middle of friendlies, although I cannot imagine him coming to a show. And again, this COVID-19, the coronavirus thing, puts in jeopardy just how shows might be conducted in the future. But even in the old world, pre-coronavirus, it's hard to imagine a sitting president of the United States or a former president, if President Bush were to show up at a card show. I mean, I know he just doesn't go places without Secret Service, and Trump would be the same way. So it'd be very disruptive. On the other hand, for him to be quietly buying up cards of players and celebrities that he likes, and as I said, that like him, that more money into the industry. Again, it's a supply and demand situation, and add a little more demand by somebody with a big bankroll chasing certain cards. The challenge would be, and this comes up with the Gary V situation and other glamour, notable collectors, is that you don't really want to be going after what they're going after they go after it. You want to go after what they're going after before they go after it. It's a variation on the Wayne Gretzky skate to where the puck is going to be, not where the puck is. It's why little kid soccer is everybody's chasing the ball instead of proper spacing. So if you're aware of a situation where somebody is with a lot of money is going to be chasing something, then go get what they're going after, and that way you can buy it before the price goes up. So a little bit of rambling here, just trying to give you an episode that's taking minds off the coronavirus, and when you're hopefully not getting cabin fever. But just a what-if situation. I'll do a few more. As always, if you've got a question or comment or suggestion for another, perhaps more realistic what-if episode, just contact me at drjamesbeckett at gmail.com. That's all spelled out, DOCTOR, jamesbeckett@gmail.com. So thanks for another episode. Again, hang in there. Again, it may get worse before it gets better. We do not pray for President Trump to be a card collector. That would be probably not a step in the right direction, but it's an interesting what if. So thanks, everybody. Be back tomorrow with another episode.